Seems to me there's something extraordinary going on in Barrie, Ontario. No one seems to know exactly what.
Maybe it's the lack of sleep, or maybe it's the heat. The fact I've been stuck inside this cage for nearly 30 days.
We're back again. New episode. It's been a minute. I'm sorry. I disappeared for a little bit, but we're back and we're with Dane and Ryan of Wormhusk.
Lay down your guard, can't hide from me. I know exactly what you're thinking. We play our part, it's all a game. While we watch this world start shrinking as the world. Yeah.
So how would you describe Wormhusk? Because you're coming straight out of Midland, which to me always sounds like Tragically Hip, Gordon Lightfoot, something acoustic coming off the water. That is not what Wormhusk sounds like.
I think it's like a combination. Like one of my buddies said he felt like Cancer Bats meets Pantera, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I dig that. I just think it's a bunch of just of our influences kind of put together. I'm more of like the hardcore kid, I'd say, in the band, but then Matt, our vocalist, kind of has that edge, but he's got like a bunch of different ranges of music. I feel like Ryan's more of our metalhead, and then I just feel like everybody's kind of music just kind of collabs into what basically is Wormhusk, and we just huskify everything.
It's also really helpful that our bassist has absolutely no influence. He just plays the bass.
Yeah. He's just that guy. We're just like, here, Nick, let's go.
That's what bass players are, though. They're just there.
Oh, yeah. I think it's really important that he just lays it down, doesn't try to, tell us what to do. Just go play the bass. And he does.
We're going to get so much hate mail from bassists now. Husky, you also refer to yourselves as Worm Bros. Did I read that before?
Yeah. We're Worm Bros.
We have a little group chat going, as all probably bands do on Facebook. And we have our little nicknames. I'm Dana Wormhusk. Ryan, what are you again?
I'm going to actually look it up so I can get them all right. Yep. It is nicknames. So Dane's Dana Wormfuck.
Sorry.
Matt's Lord Emperor Wormsies. Nicholas is Nikolai Wormstov. Sylvan is Drum Lord Wormstein. And I'm Rye Husk Wormman.
You were saying that you started this last quarantine, right?
Yeah.
So you've been working on this band for like a year now. So do you guys have like a full length coming out, or is it an EP that you're working on? Or are you just working on like singles at the moment?
Well, with the pandemic going on, like we've been cut short on practice and rehearsals, and we have everything set up to record, and we've started on the full length. We have all the songs written. If not, we're going to have more or less. I don't know what's happening with that yet. But so far, we're redoing the EP, which is the one that you guys have probably heard. We're going to be redoing that with full band, because me and Matt wrote that by ourselves. And now we want to have all the influence of when we jammed with the band and all the new parts we've added and make it all full. Plus, at least double the amount of songs that we have already. But because there's so much time in between that, we want to put in the singles. And that's why we're doing cover songs, just kind of, keep everyone in the loop.
Don't you agree? The only card I need is the Ace of Spades! The Ace of Spades! Playing for the high one, dancing with the devil, going with the flow.
What is it about Wormhusk and your music that like adds to the music scene of Midland, Barrie, and surrounding areas?
You take this one, Dane?
Okay, fine. I think we just make the music like we want to make. Like, for example, my mom's kind of the one who got me into like listening to music when I was a kid and stuff like that. And like, for her to listen to our EP, she's like, I don't like the screaming stuff. Blah, blah, blah. But like when we did the Ace of Spades cover, like she's pumping that like crazy. Like her friends will message me and be like, oh, I heard your band's cover. And like, okay, cool. So it's like Ryan said, the whole cover thing is like a good vibe and I really enjoy it. But I don't know. I just feel like we make the music we want to make. We're real about it. Like, it's not super fabricated and stuff like that. Like, we're not going to make stuff that we're not going to be able to pull off live. We're not going to have a bunch of backing tracks and stuff like that. A couple of people with the feedback on the Ace of Spades cover said, like, I really liked how you kept it like close to the original. It was really raw, really like Motorhead-esque. And yeah, I feel like we're super cool dudes. We're tight with all the other guys that we're knowing in this scene, and everyone else that comes in, we're just super welcoming, as everyone was to us. And I just feel like everyone's just a big family. Like, when the world goes back to normal, like, I just can't wait for a giant show with like all those bands.
I think also, just to add in, that we've been in the scene technically for like since we were like 15 years old. We used to play at the Fox. We used to play at the Foundation. So we've been. It's not like we don't know the people in the scene either, right? So it's just kind of like gives us more of an outlet to go out and hang out with our buddies too, right? And have something more to relate with, and where before it was like, oh man, your band's doing sick, but I'm still playing in my basement, right?
Yeah.
We want to play your shows. That's the thing that sucks for us, man. Like, we're a pandemic-born band. Like, it sucks. We haven't even got to play a show yet. We had a live stream booked for December 19th, and then I guess the first lockdown kind of happened, so we had to cancel. Ryan,
literally the day before, yeah. Said we want to be like hitting the ground running once the pandemic kind of settles down. Like, we already have like lighting, PA, sound, everything. We want to get a few people and just start going around playing shows at anywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
book us, and we'll get those lighting boxes. Unfortunately for our bass player Nick, we already told him like he's just got to sit out because it just would throw it off. We can't have like one here, lead singer, and then a space, and then two. So it's got to be me and Ryan on either side of the stage.
well, it's gonna be kind of like Nick's in the band, but like when you're watching the show, he's off on the side of the stage behind the curtain playing the bass, right? Well, we're all playing the show. Everyone's like, well, isn't there 5 guys in this band? It's like, oh yeah, well, yeah, the bass player plays behind the curtain.
What do you think an audience is in for when you finally get to play live, with or without a light box or with a bassist in the curtains? What is that experience going to be like for an audience?
There's going to be lots of grooves. Everyone's going to be grooving. There's going to be lots of breakdowns. There's going to be people yelling in your face. There's going to be more people yelling in your face. There's going to be Dane. There's going to be some Ryan. There's going to be lots of Matt. If you look way in the back, you'll see a Sly. And if you go around the curtain, you'll find Matt or Nick. No, it's going to be great. And I think that when it's all done, I think we're going to have the benefit of everyone being itching to go and see some live music. So
if there's one song off of the EP as it stands right now, I know you're re-recording it, but for one song to try and get somebody into your band, what's the song?
Ric Flair Strut.
That one is definitely. I have it tied at Ric Flair and Fine by Me. Those two.
So I would say Ric Flair, because this is quick little really short thing. When Wormhusk, the origins of Wormhusk is actually funny because back in March of 2019, me, Matt, and Ryan were jamming with Dylan and Eric from Flight 97. Dylan wasn't in Flight 97 yet. We were all jamming, and then we started jamming Ric Flair's Strut. Ryan wrote it, and we just started jamming it then. I moved to London, and then Dylan and Eric went and did Flight, and then Ryan and Matt started Wormhusk, and then it's just crazy because it kind of came full circle. So for me, that's like always my favorite, especially because there's this like one little part where me and Ryan just kind of switch back and forth, and it's just something we wrote like back in 2019, and they still had it when I joined the band now. So,
and it's got that like rock kind of, you can just groove to that song so easily, and it's just groovy no matter what. It's like every time I play, I'm like, yeah, I can just like bang your head and dance to it. You can Ric Flair Strut to it is what the whole point is, right?
Look through your crystal ball and tell me what you see. Is this all you hope to achieve? What ain't enough?
We're going to go outside like the realm of reality here for a second. So your first live show back, there's 3 bands that are going to be set up. You have Wormhusk, You have one local band, and then you have one band. Your choice, living or dead, any country in the world. What's the lineup?
I'll let you go first. I have mine already.
Okay. It sucks because I have a list of bands. I don't even care that when like the world goes back to normal, Jillian's gonna book the show, and it's gonna be 30 going on 13, Tangents, Flight 97, Foxtrot and the High Dives, and Wormhusk. So that's just like my ideal lineup. But if I wanted like this is gonna happen tomorrow, it's gonna be us, Tangents, and Avenged Sevenfold because I don't care. They're my favorite. So that's mine. Ryan, stop laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true though. I understand that would be your first choice.
Yours.
I guess it from like a promotion aspect, I would want to do something like us, Tangents, and like Every Time I Die. Kind of keep that kind of groove thing going on. At the same time, you know, I could be anybody. I would want to go with like a stadium band, so we go and play in the stadium. You know? We'll play with Iron Maiden just so we can get on that big stage.
One thing that we always like to do with all of our guests is, do you want to shout out any local bands or bands that people should be listening to, A, because we're stuck at home, and B, because they're awesome?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously the obvious ones, Tangents, great band, great guys. We've been pretty much jamming 30 going on 13 for like 2-3 weeks straight now. So shout out to Dead Beyond Fear. You know, Mark's been our band brother for years. And I'm sure that all the other bands that I should be shouting out,
I'll do it. I got your back.
they'll accept my apology for forgetting them.
I'll tag on now. Obviously, Flight 97, my little brother's band. All those guys are awesome. Foxtrot and High Dives, Matt's bands. I don't know. Everyone's gonna yell at us, but like, those are our tight group. 30 going on 13, like Brian said. I don't know who else.
I guess one quick thing, like I have like a playlist I've been doing on Spotify of just local Ontario bands. It's like 300 hours. It's got so many bands and it's always growing. And it's just called Local Ontario Bands. And I mean, that thing's unreal. I find bands on there. I'm like, man, I want to play with those guys. Oh, I want to play with those guys. I guess some of them I want to play with those girls. You know, like I'm not trying to be picky. But you know, there's some great talent in this province and locally around here too. So, I mean, it'd be great when we can start playing shows again and all of us can get together.
Oh yeah. On that note, I can't wait until we can all be in a nasty little club together. I can't wait until Wormhusk can finally come out of the shell live in front of the audience. So Dane, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. It was wonderful to meet you guys. I hope anybody who's watching this, go and check out the EP, which is on Bandcamp right now. It's going to be remastered, re-released, everythinged. And before we go, Dane and Ryan, can you give us one of your songs to play us out on?
Oh, well, fine by it. Or no, yeah, I don't know. You pick, Richard.
Okay, it's a me problem now.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Rick, you were gonna say Fine by Me, so you have to pick.
Yeah, you can't decide.
You know what? I guess it's gonna be a mystery, so we'll find out when I edit this piece. So Dane, Jillian, Ryan, thank you all so much for being here. Love to you all. And hopefully 2021 is the year of the worm.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you.